when you're selling a home, boosting your ad isn't going to help. People are going to see your home because they're looking for homes.
Yeah.
So, those are the small things. The big things are.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Founders Outlook today. Today's guest is Tim Street, a foreign marine, former top producing agent, and now founder Foolproof FSBO.
That real estate agents are one of the highest returns on investments you can make when you sell your house. By getting professional photos, you're going to stand out because here's what happens.
He's helping people sell smarter without losing equity. He left big checks behind as a top producing agent to build systems that protect families and make selling stress-free.
And my industry, we spend billions of dollars, so much money scaring homeowners saying, you can't do this. You're not smart enough. It's too scary. You're going to get sued. You're going to be in a lawsuit. You're going to leave money on the table. We have done a great job as an industry of scaring homeowners. So what I'm trying to do is
that people don't understand in terms of real estate.
That we're still a bunch of big babies, even as grown-ups. And so we're the same way. If we see a lot of people show interest in a property, it makes our interest go up.
If you want a practical advice, please make sure to follow him on LinkedIn and also visit his YouTube channel. I will leave the link below. Hi, Tim. How are you doing today?
Hey, Juliet. It's such a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know I introduced you into the show to my guest. And please, how do you help us save money? Because I love money. I love saving money, especially in real estate. So can you tell us how you help us save money?
Don't we all? Yeah, it's interesting how many, we lose so much money every time we sell a home and we don't even know it. And some of these decisions can just be from, maybe we made improvements to the home that we thought we would see a return on and we don't. Or sometimes it's by using the wrong way to sell. Sometimes people use real estate agents and they don't necessarily need a real estate agent because they can sell on their own. And, the average sale price of homes these days is about $500,000. And so that's $30,000 of equity that you're just tossing out the window sometimes. And so we just try to educate homeowners and let them know that, yes, there are certainly times where a real estate agent is going to be the best path for you. But there are other times, especially for those people who like to do things themselves and get involved in the process, where sometimes it makes a lot of sense for them to think about saving that money and taking on some of that work themselves.
Yeah. So, Tim, I was just wondering, you've lived on both sides, big commissions, fast deals. Then there was a hard period for you. What made you walk away, to help people to build this company? What did you see? What sparked the interest?
Yeah. So I felt myself, I didn't start off as a real estate agent. I've been in the industry since 2014, but for most of that time before then, I was helping do the digital marketing and understanding consumer psychology for really large real estate companies and organizations. So I kind of come from the tech world, the startup space, and that's really where I kind of grew up. And I got into real estate because I was tired of living out of suitcases, traveling all the time. I have 4 daughters, so I know I wanted to be at home for them. Gosh, it's wonderful. But I did know that, that living that startup lifestyle was not going to go well for a long time for me. So I decided to become a real estate investor. Okay. And in so doing, I learned, there are some things that you just can't teach. I can't teach somebody to work hard for me. I can't teach them to be a good negotiator for me. I can't teach somebody to convey exactly what my goals are in a real estate transaction. So after being disappointed a few different times working with real estate agents, I decided to become one. And yeah. And then so I did, we did very well at that. My wife is a real estate agent to this day. She is still helping clients. Wow. And I've met some amazing people in the space. But I found myself starting to realize that my incentives were sometimes not aligned perfectly with the homeowner. And I felt myself starting to get pulled in a direction that I didn't agree with morally or ethically. And so I said, I'm not going to allow myself to be tempted. I just washed my hands of it. And I figured out, how can I now package that system that I used to get people multiple offers and get high prices for them? How can I give that away? And so that's pretty much what got me here. And that's what I do now is I give my system away for free. They don't have to pay me a penny.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. And what breaks first when people don't have systems in place? When they don't understand that it's not about selling faster, but it's about selling smarter. What's that people don't understand in terms of real estate?
That's it, Juliet. You nailed it. It's primarily a question of we don't know what we don't know. So there are a lot of mistakes we can make, and we think we're doing the right thing. I worked with one of my real estate clients. He was an older man, and he wanted to replace the roof on his home before he sold the house
Uh-huh.
because he thought he could sell it for more money. And I said, no, that's not how this works. People expect to have a roof. All it's going to do is put you right with everybody else. You're not going to see that money. But he insisted, and he spent the money on the roof, and he lost a lot of money doing that. So, there's things like that. There's sometimes people will waste money on advertising in places where nobody's going to see them. Facebook is very good at telling you, hey, you need to boost your ad so more people will see it. When you're selling a home, boosting your ad isn't going to help. People are going to see your home because they're looking for homes.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff. And, those are the small things. The big things are, if you don't work with a real estate attorney or a title company, you could fill out the paperwork incorrectly and find yourself in a lawsuit. Even up to 4 years after. You could sell 4 years ago, and if they uncover a paperwork mistake, they can come back and sue you. One of the most popular cases in real estate court right now are for sale by owners who didn't fill out the disclosures the right way, and they found themselves in legal trouble. So that is very dangerous, and that's what I kind of help people understand. We can work around that. It is dangerous if you don't have a system, but if you have a system, we can make it very safe.
Nice. And, this is from experience as well. We don't really know how much we lose in equity when we don't sell right. And I'm kind of wondering, let's say I want to sell a property and I approach you. What is the first step? How are you going to help me sell, keep more money in my account? On your LinkedIn, you said you help families save for colleges. So how are you going to help me to save money and not lose so much on equity?
The first thing we do is we need to find out if you as a person and your home as a home is a good candidate for sale by owner, because there are circumstances where it might be a terrible idea. It can actually cost you more money to sell by owner. For example, let's pretend that the home has a legal proceeding going on. Maybe it's a divorce, or there's a death, so it's a probate or something like that. The real estate agent is worth their weight in gold. Sign that check to them and laugh, because they're going to go through a lot of trouble to help you get that house sold. They're going to earn all that they get paid. Sometimes the person is not suitable to sell on their own. If they cry when somebody walks in and says, I don't like your kitchen counters, or I don't like your kitchen cabinets. And if they start crying and they get defensive, you probably don't want to sell, because you're going to be making emotional decisions, and that's going to cost you money. So I always send people to take my quiz. If you go to my website, foolprooffsbo.com/quiz, it's a 2-minute quiz, and it tells you, hey, you're a good candidate to do this, or you're not. But here's the good news. If you are a good candidate, you're going to save a lot of money by selling your own. But even if you're not a good candidate, you just tell me, and I have a whole nationwide network of real estate agents. I've already negotiated with them that they're going to sell my students' properties at reduced commissions. So even if you have to use a real estate agent, you're still going to save tens of thousands of dollars by working with me.
Okay. And now there are steps, when you want to sell, there are steps you need to take. For instance, photo, negotiation, paperwork. What's that one step people skip or make mistaken, because it feels maybe boring, or they don't know how much it's going to cost if they make that mistake, but it comes up or ends up costing them the most. What is that one particular step?
The biggest mistake I see people do is they try to take their own photographs.
Yes.
With their iPhone. Yeah. And I don't know why they make their house look like a crime scene. Like it's the police taking photos, it's terrible. There's dirty clothes out, and there's, a dog running through. It's just no good. Real estate photographers, yes, they do cost money, but if you think about how much extra you're going to make by having a successful home sale, it's a
Mm-hmm.
very small amount in comparison. I say
Mm-hmm.
that real estate agents are one of the highest returns on investments you can make when you sell your house. By getting professional photos, you're going to stand out because here's what happens. You have to remember that now, because of Amazon.com, we're taught to comparison shop. So we just compare, compare, compare. And if I see a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in a neighborhood that I want, I'm going to find out what is the least expensive one. That's just, and a lot of people are like me. That's what we do. We comparison shop on price first. Then after we see the right price, what's next? See, what does it look like? And if it doesn't grab my attention right away, within zero point 0.7 seconds, actually is what the science tells us. You have zero
Mm-hmm.
point 0.7 seconds to make somebody's brain say, oh, that's a nice picture. I will press, I will click, I will go look at more. And if you don't
Mm-hmm.
do that, they're gone. And unprofessional iPhone photos, they're not going to impress anybody.
Okay, so the photos do matter. Okay, so if you could give founders one rule before they sell anything, what should that be, and what should they never compromise on when they're about to sell? I know you mentioned photo. Is there any other thing they shouldn't compromise on?
Absolutely. Never try to handle the legal stuff by yourself. So never try to do your own contracts. Never try to figure out because here's the thing. You can download the agreements. They're standardized agreements. So on a lot of government websites, they will have those agreements online for you to download.
Mm-hmm.
But just because it's legal doesn't make it smart. Yes, it's legal for you to fill out your own documents, but it is not smart. So outside of the photos, the real estate photographer, I also say always work with a title company or a real estate attorney, a legal professional, whatever. Every state has different rules, but always make sure that you work with a true legal professional because if you don't, you could find yourself on the wrong end of a lawsuit, and that's just that ruins everybody's day.
Yeah, true. I agree totally. And what is the timeline? Is there like a particular timeline, working with you? Because some people they complain about listing with a particular agent and it stays online for 90 days, 60 days. Is there a timeline guarantee when working with you to, sell these properties?
That's a great question, Juliet. A lot of people forget that there's something out there called carrying costs.
Mm-hmm.
So every month that your house is on the market, you're paying the mortgage, you're paying the insurance, you're
True.
paying for the electricity and the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
And that is money you will never see again. In the United States, the average is $2,500 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it takes 3 months, if it takes 4 months, that's $10,000 that you are never going to see
Exactly.
again.
Yep.
Yeah. And on top of that is people don't realize that there's also something called an opportunity cost. And an opportunity cost is, when you get that money from that house sale, you're probably
Mm-hmm.
not going to bury it in your backyard. You're probably going to put it into something else. Maybe it's another house. Maybe it's an investment account. Whatever it is, it's going to generate interest. It's going to appreciate. Well, every month you're prevented from doing that. That's your opportunity cost. So you're not just losing your carrying costs. You're losing your opportunity costs as well. And it really
Yeah.
adds up.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the longer a home takes to sell, the more difficult it becomes to sell because it gets a reputation that there's something wrong with the house or it would have sold already. So it's a bad cycle because the longer it sits, the harder it is to sell. The harder it
Mm-hmm.
is to sell, the longer it sits. So, what we try to teach people is your job is to make this house sell fast and for a great price. And the way you do that is through two things. Number one, you strategically underprice when you hit the market so that you're the most reasonable home on the market. That's going to get you the most attention, which causes multiple bidding wars, which is going to drive your price up. And then the other thing I like to remind people of is when they're figuring out what they want for a price, they should take those opportunity costs and those carrying costs into effect. And this is what I mean. If the least, or if the price of the house is $200,000,
Mm-hmm.
and if your house sits on the market for 4 months, that's going to be $10,000. What I
Yes.
recommend is right away listed at $190,000 because you're
Oh,
now a great
yeah.
value and you're going to get bid up past that $200,000 almost always.
I see. I see. Yeah. So this is how you help them put more money into their pockets. I'm just curious, how do you now estimate how long this property is going to stay? Let's say I make a budget of 2 months extra in my bidding cost. Then I don't know if it's going to last for 3 months, 2 months. How do you estimate this? How do you get the numbers?
So the first thing we do is I give people a target of 7 days to get on the
Okay.
market. And I've written an ebook on this. If you go to my website, foolproofisbo.com/ebook, it's free. But
Okay.
it's my 7 day launch plan. And that will take you on one hard week of work. It's not going to be easy, but 1 week of concentrated work, about 2 to 3 hours of work every day. So you can do it after you get home from your job. We're going to teach you how to launch your property and be ready to receive offers on it in as little as 7 days. Now, the
Mm-hmm.
other question that you asked was, well, how long will it take to sell? Well, that depends. If you follow my guidance exactly, I can tell you that my homes that I sold for my clients are usually under contract after the first weekend,
Oh,
with
okay.
multiple offers. And the
Yeah.
way we do that is through it, like I said, a number of things, strategic underpricing, fantastic, beautiful photos, a beautiful listing description. We make sure that we have an open houses that are very crowded. So we make them crowded by inviting the neighborhood. We make them very small, only 2 hours. So a lot of people are in there at one time. I can tell you, my daughters, when they were babies, they would
Yeah.
have a toy in the closet that they haven't seen in 6 months. If one of them
Yes.
takes that toy, the other one's going to fight them for that
Excitement.
toy. Yeah. Well, we've never outgrown that. We're still a bunch of big babies, even as grown-ups. And so we're the same way. If we see a lot of people show interest in a property, it makes
Yeah.
our interest go up.
Oh, nice. And you mentioned you do one-on-one coaching as well. So you coach, people who want to sell and put these things in the market themselves, or do you coach just the real estate agents?
So that's a great question. I do not necessarily coach real estate agents.
Mm-hmm.
My priority is to help the homeowners. And
Homeowners, okay?
so I give everything away for free on my social media, on my YouTube. But
That's
I do
nice.
also have a program that is more of like, it's almost like a college course, really, where there's
Mm-hmm.
modules, there's video modules. I have handouts, I have calculators, I've built everything. And every week we get on a coaching call and we talk to homeowners about some of the mistakes they're making, some of the fears they have. And I just walk them through all that. And that's called our Foolproof FSBO Blueprint. That one is a paid course, but like I tell people all the time, you don't really need that. If you can watch YouTube and you can take notes, I give everything away on YouTube. Just follow my
Yeah,
YouTube and
everything
get
is
it done
out
for
there.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went through your YouTube channel. I must say that you have great information out there. And
Oh, thank you.
if you could give founders or homeowners a checklist for selling, what would it be on?
So my biggest pet peeve and that I think people don't follow when they launch their homes is they try to do everything themselves. So they'll say, "Oh, well, I've got 5,000 Instagram follows. I know how to take pictures." No, you don't.
Yeah.
They'll say, "My Uncle Larry was a real estate broker back in the 1970s. He could tell you the price of it." No, he can't. You have to do your own research. I'll tell you, this is one of my favorite things to tell home sellers to do is
Mm-hmm.
I have them search for the homes in their area that are for sale. And then they go they go to their open house or they ask for a showing and they walk through and see what their competition is doing. Because a lot of times you can only really understand the value of a house by walking through it. So
Okay.
if you're just looking at the photos and the house is beautiful and it's nicer than yours in the photos and you think they're asking too little for it, but you go walk in there and the whole home smells like animals like dogs or cats or something like that. It doesn't show on photos, or maybe somebody's smoking cigarettes in the house for 30 years.
Yep.
You walk in there and now you're like, oh, that's why they want less money for this place. Now I understand.
Okay.
So having that first hand understanding of walking through personally, that
Mm-hmm.
makes all the difference in the world.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I can relate. Okay.
Yes.
So is there anything about your business or company that I've not asked you that you want the audience to know about?
The one thing about my business that I'd like the audience to know about, was that the question? Yes.
Yes. I've not asked.
Yeah, I think that If I want people to understand that they can do this, like this is not impossible. In my industry, I'm a real estate agent. I still am a real estate agent. And my industry, we spend billions of dollars, so much money scaring homeowners, saying, you can't do this. You're not smart enough. It's too scary. You're going to get sued. You're going to be in a lawsuit. You're going to leave money on the net. We have done a great job as an industry of scaring homeowners. So what I'm trying to do is give homeowners that confidence back. I'm trying to convince them that, listen, I can do this. Man, I'll tell you, I joined the Marines. So I don't have a giant brain. Okay. So if I could do this, then you absolutely can do this. If you're a homeowner, you've shown that you're responsible, you can make payments, you can follow a strategy. Yes, I believe any homeowner has the capability to do this.
Yeah. So overall, it's not about selling faster or scale harder, but it's about selling smarter. That's what you're offering. And what's the best way for people to reach your business or reach you to, if they have interest in working with you to achieve this?
Yeah, I would absolutely love for your audience, if they're interested in understanding how to launch in 7 days, just grab the ebook on my website. It's free. The website again is Foolproof FSBO, which is FSBO. It stands for for sale by owner. So it's foolprooffsbo.com/ebook. Or if you don't know if this is right for you or not, and you want to find out, take the quiz. It's a 2-minute quiz, foolprooffsbo.com/quiz. And my handle is Foolproof FSBO on all of the socials. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, feel free to look me up there, and I'll be happy to chat with you one-on-one.
Oh, great. Thank you very much, Tim. It was nice chatting with you. This topic is something I relate to because I've also, been in the real estate. I've sold properties and all. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please connect with him on his website and his YouTube. A lot of information on his YouTube page as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julia. Pleasure meeting you. Thank you for having me on.
All right. Thanks. Bye.